Have you ever thought of investing simply by playing? The latest fad that every investor has been offering is the AXIE Infinity that is purchased merely by playing. Hello and welcome to our channel. This video will explore what AXIE Infinity is and how we can make money from it simply by playing. So, what is AXIE Infinity? AXIE Infinity is the intersection of Bitcoin and gaming. AXIE's objective is to make blockchain technology accessible to the general public in a pleasant way. It is a play-to-earn cryptocurrency that is based on the Ethereum ETH network. Users can earn the AXIE Infinity Shard token, AXS, and Smooth Love Potion token, SLP, in many ways. In this, players earn tokens by breeding, raising, and fighting AXIEs. Investors who do not wish to participate in the game can purchase both the tokens on decentralized markets. AXIEs, like CryptoKitties, collectible digital kittens that sparked the NFT frenzy, are adorable digital pets that are one of a kind. The cheapest AXIEs available now are roughly $200, with the most costly selling for 300 Ether, almost $550,000. The earning potential is what has driven the game's popularity, particularly in developing countries, and it is this high involvement that is fueling AXIE's excellent revenue streams. AXIE made more money in June than major decentralized exchanges such as Uniswap and Aave, according to CoinDesk. However, there are certain things that you should be aware of. It's a play-to-earn cryptocurrency game. Play-to-earn is a newer style of gaming, but it's gaining popularity. Players earn cryptocurrency tokens within the game, which they can then trade for hard cash on decentralized exchanges. AXIEs are charming creatures that players control in AXIE Infinity. Each AXIE is a non-fungible token, NFT, which means it's a one-of-a-kind digital collectible in and of itself. Within the game, there is an entire economy, a world called Lunacia. In Lunacia, players can use their in-game tokens, Smooth Love Potion, SLP, and AXIE Infinity Shard, AXS, to acquire property, farm, or breed AXIEs. Furthermore, gamers can use the tokens to pay for rent or food in real life because the tokens have monetary worth. AXIE Infinity gained more income than the top 10 apps combined. According to token terminal data, AXIE has made about $90 million in revenue in the last 30 days. The other top 10 apps on Token Terminal's list totaled roughly $41 million at the time of publishing. Revenue is generated via in-game purchases such as land. AXIE charges a 4.25% fee for purchasing and selling AXIE NFTs, as well as costs for breeding. What makes it particularly extraordinary is that 95% of its earnings are returned to the players. As a result, as we'll see momentarily, people in poorer countries devote so much time to the game. However, keep in mind that cryptocurrencies are not stocks. If you acquire shares in a firm that generates a lot of money, you can obtain a cut of the profits in the form of dividends. When you buy AXS, you do not own a piece of the company. The primary way to earn is if the price of the token rises. AXIE's land sales set new records. A user spent 888.25 Ether, about $1.5 million at the time, on 9 parcels of land in AXIE in February. According to CoinDesk, it was the largest NFT sale on record at the time. Since then, there have been several multi-million-dollar NFT transactions, including Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey's first tweet, which sold for about $3 million. This demonstrates that AXS tokens are not the only option to invest in AXIE Infinity. Owning AXIEs and digital land may also be advantageous for people looking to immerse themselves in Lunacia. To take part in the game, you must have 3 AXIEs. As an investor, you're more inclined to purchase AXS tokens hoping that their value would rise over time. AXIE Infinity, on the other hand, is a community that invites token holders to participate rather than investors, and the involvement can be pricey, especially because one of the drawbacks of AXIE Infinity's success is that the price of AXIEs has skyrocketed. Previously, players could get started with $5 to $10. At that moment, the lowest price for an AXIE was roughly $200. Thus, gamers must spend $600 to play. AXIEs can reproduce up to 7 times before becoming sterile. Before you can buy your first AXIE, you will need 2 wallets and some Ethereum, ETH. People are resigning from their jobs to play AXIE. According to Substack's Crypto Day newsletter, the typical participant can earn roughly 4,500 SLP every month. At today's prices, that equates to about $1,500. According to AXIE, there are around 250,000 daily active players. The game requires both time and strategy. Not only must players carefully breed their AXIs to gain specific skills, but they must also accomplish quests to earn energy that allows them to engage further. As a result, several employees in countries such as Vietnam and the Philippines are quitting their day jobs to devote their time to AXIE. It has aided many people in their economic troubles due to the pandemic. However, most consider it a side hustle rather than a full-time career. The price increased by over 600% in a month before halving in value. AXS increased by more than 600% between mid-June, July. On July 15, the price reached an all-time high of $29.13 before plummeting to $14.19 on July 20. All cryptocurrency prices are unpredictable, and hefty price surges are frequently driven by investors who see a coin increasing and get concerned that they will miss out. Before you buy, conduct your research and consider AXI's long-term prospects. AXIE is not available for purchase on major U.S. exchanges. AXS and SLP are unavailable on significant cryptocurrency exchanges in the United States, making them difficult to obtain. It is possible to use a decentralized exchange, but be cautious because they are not always accessible to U.S. investors, and purchasing through an unregulated exchange raises the danger of fraud. So, how can we make money from this? 1. Play to earn. Playing it is a great way to get your feet wet with AXIE Infinity. The cool thing is that by winning battles and completing tasks, you may earn the game's Smooth Love Potions, SLP, which are now worth 26 cents apiece and are required to produce AXIs. It's all your SLP once you've earned the tokens. In terms of actual play to earn, there are 3 main ways to earn SLP in AXIE Infinity: quests, adventure mode, player versus environment or PvE, arena mode, player versus player or PvP. Quest. AXIE Infinity currently has a daily quest where players can compete to earn 50 SLP. A weekly quest, as well as other limited-time special bounties, are on the way. Adventure. For a more casual experience, consider AXIE Infinity's Adventure Mode, where you can win tokens by defeating computer-controlled enemies. If you can, the fights become more difficult as you progress through the levels. Arena. You can also put your determination to the test by putting your AXIs against the finest that other actual players have to offer. It's also played for keeps, so trainers earn SLP for each arena victory. Things to keep in mind at this point are: the future Battles V2 system will contain free starting AXIs for you to play with, but until then, you must first purchase or borrow 3 AXIs to form a team and begin playing. The official AXIE marketplace, currently available on the game's customized Ronin sidechain, is central to purchase AXIs. Check out the fantastic video instruction by AXIE Infinity co-founder Jeff G. Zerlin for a quick guide on moving assets to Ronin. Download the Mavis Hub launcher from AXIEinfinity.com, which is used to launch and update AXIE Infinity. 2. Breed AXIs. Breeding AXIs provides another economical option in the AXIE Infinity universe. As you breed more AXIs, you can sell, lend, and establish AXIE scholarship teams from your inventory, where you allow other players to use your AXIs in exchange for a non-exploitative percentage of the SLP they make. Breeding costs 4 AXS flat charges plus a variable price of SLP depending on how many times the participating AXIs have been bred previously. Breeding 2 virgin AXIs, for example, will always cost 300 SLP and then climbs up from there, as shown in the graph. 3. Liquidity for tokens. SLP serves as a utility token in AXIE Infinity, whereas AXS is the game's native governance token. Both assets are essential to AXIE Infinity, and as the game develops in popularity, so will the need for these tokens. Serving as a liquidity provider, LP, on popular decentralized exchanges is one method to engage in the AXIE Infinity economy. 4. Speculate on unusual AXIs. Do you believe AXIE Infinity will continue to grow? And that its most valuable AXIs will age like excellent wine? If this is the case, one potential source of income is speculating on fractionalized AXIs. AXIs that have been sharded into multiple fungible ERC20 tokens to facilitate communal ownership. There are two options to consider in this area: single fractionalized AXIs or sets of fractionalized AXIs. Almace, an ultra-rare AXI sharded into 10,000 ALMX tokens via NiftX, is an example of the former. Unicly's U-AXI token, which depicts a basket of 24 mysterious AXIs, is an example of the latter. Okay, so remember that the AXIE Infinity expedition is similar to the bankless journey in that it is a frontier with hazards and requires hard work to succeed. However, before you invest your money, it's a good idea to learn about the crypto gaming industry and the play-to-earn principle. If you're prepared for the challenges, there's a lot of fun to be had along the road. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and experienced it firsthand. Before you leave, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and have the bell icon on. We will be back soon with a new video. Until then, guys.